Why, hello there, and welcome to another episode of Chick Chat and Chill. And today we're going to be talking about mistakes and what we've learned from them. First, I am Antoinette. I'm the owner of Pixel This. It's a full-service design firm, and we're going to help you fix all those mistakes that you made with all those other terrible design firms. So that's where we step in. But first, got to introduce Laura, my co-host.
Hi, I'm Laura Fickett. I am your financial educator and business coach, and I love to help people make more money, manage it better, retain it to build their wealth. I do it through workshops. I do it through private coaching. If you don't feel like you are where you're supposed to be, I can help you level up your game and be more wealthy today. Free consultations. So reach out to me because life is too short to stay stuck. And so, like Antoinette said, we're going to talk about mistakes we've made in the past and things that we learn from or hopefully learn from. I tell my kids, like, the only mistakes you truly make are the ones you don't learn from and you continue to make. And it's actually been my experience that if you don't learn the first time, usually the lesson gets harder and harder and harder. And then until eventually you learn. I'm not sure if that's God's design. I really think it is. But I was trying to think of some mistakes that I could actually talk about here or that I wanted to share. Like, you should use your words and not put hands on people because that could actually get you arrested, like that kind of stuff. But I'm going to keep it. I think I'm going to keep it pretty clean. That is a good mistake, though, that potentially may have been one of mine or other people. Who knows? It could be a random thought. Do you have a mistake yet today you want to share?
I had I was saying it was just difficult for me to reflect back and go, oh my God, these are all my mistakes. Because some of them, it's just hard. But the ones that stuck with me are the ones that I wanted to do over. And to me, that meant I really learned something from them because I failed so miserably at the time. And it obviously changed who I was. The fact that it's still so many years after the fact just replays oh, if only, if only, if only. And
I think the hard part is we're both in a pretty good place in life. And so when I was looking back, I'm like, well, I mean, every mistake you learn from and it leads you to where you're going to be. And so I try to look at the positive outlook, but there were some that I'm just like, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
You know?
And I'll start with an easy one. This was when I was in college and I was out. A lot of my mistakes include dates. So, shocker. But I was, me and my boyfriend were out and we went to play pool. So we were out playing pool and I was the only female in the bar. So there was a lot of drunk guys making these, comments that were sexually motivated towards me. And, I was ignoring them and just playing pool with my boyfriend. But he started getting very uncomfortable and he's like, look, let's leave or, whatever. So I didn't really want to leave. I wanted to play pool. It's just just ignore them. And in the end, it caused kind of this big fight. And then I remember we had heated words in the parking lot. I was like, this is the last time your insecurities are going to impact my good time. And in retrospect, that was such a terrible, terrible reaction to have because if this is somebody you care about and they're put in a situation where, if tables were turned, I'd be like, hell yeah, we're getting out of here. You know what I mean? If this is someone you care about, their feelings, matter too, or even,
more than a good time.
Yeah, more than a good time. I could have fun anywhere, but you're going to have more fun with somebody you love than with a bunch of just strangers being obnoxious. So in retrospect, that still plays on my mind that, even it's simple things like I see this all the time where people maintain these relationships. This was just strangers, but they'll maintain these odd relationships that really are meaningless to them and yet cause angst to the person they're with. And why?
Why? Yes.
Yeah, and it's that type of thing. You gotta, if this person is your priority in your life, your significant other, your boo, your whatever you want to call them, I just did Halloween invitation, so your boo, but if that should be, obviously God first, but they need to be a top priority and not a good time or, just arbitrary people. Their feelings matter. You have to put them on a.
That was actually one of my mistakes too, is that spending time with people that don't matter and not spending time with people that do matter.
Yeah.
That's a mistake that I made like in my, I don't know, youth, I guess. And it's true. Like the people that don't matter, I don't know what I was thinking at the time. I looked at a lot of my mistakes, and maybe this is for a lot of people, but they all stemmed, or many of them stemmed from anger. Like there was a situation where I became upset or I became angry and I did not handle myself appropriately. That was probably 80% of my mistakes, and the other 20% was I didn't listen to my intuition.
Yeah.
But I know that there's been times that I have wanted to, I didn't take into consideration the person that I cared about or the family member that I cared about. And instead, like, I don't know if it's out of spite or just out of pure cluelessness, I invested time in the people that really, like you said, they don't matter.
Yeah.
They don't matter. And you think to yourself, you look back and you're like, why would I do that? Like,
Yeah.
what was I thinking? So that's a huge mistake. It's like time is not abundant.
No. And
You really need to be very careful about who you spend time with and who you, like, I think of relationships like a bank account. We talked about this before on a different episode because I'm an accountant. And so like, you're in a joint bank account and you need to put deposits in that bank account. So sometimes you make a mistake, you make a withdrawal, but why would you put deposits into a bank account for somebody you don't like?
Yeah. It makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
And I know for me, the couple times I did that, it was just, you're just caught in the moment. Like I had one time where it was, my boyfriend's birthday. And then the night before I just found out I had to go to this court case for something. Like it just came, I didn't know the date was then, and showed up and then ended up winning. And it was this whole big celebratory thing. And I basically blew off his whole birthday.
Ooh.
And it was just like that weighs on my mind to this day. That was just a terrible, and again, it's over what? For people I'm never going to see again past that day. It was crazy.
Well, I mean, if it was like you won $1 billion in court, then
No, but it was significant. It was significant monies, but not $1 billion. So
we may be like drilling down into the root of Antoinette's single problem. But I was thinking about some other things, like it's a lot, and it's not even mistakes that I made 20 years ago. I think it's just like, what are some recent mistakes that I've made?
I have one that honestly yesterday I made. And I feel terrible. And I literally had, kind of like you said, like people give you the writing on the wall and whatever. So the mistake is like I come from things from a very practical place. Like I'm a very healthy individual. I believe in a mind over matter and what you think you can, as long as you, like that type of situation. And I was trying to help my mom who's dealing with getting older, and she, my dad recently died, so she's going through some other things on top of that. And
she bought a house, and she's moving out of her other house.
Yeah, so
she lived in with your dad.
Yeah, so what happened was, so I was talking with this person who both Laura and I know, and she deals with elderly and getting them the help they need. And I was asking her for some pointers for something, and I feel like she was giving me more of the pointers. Like, you just got to understand. Like one thing my mom is, she's constantly dehydrated. So I was telling her, like, I just don't understand, like, why she can't. She goes, when have you seen, like, an elderly person just take water and chug it like you do? She's like, they don't do that. And I'm like, I was so busy thinking of things from my mindset and not that. And she kept going back and forth with me. And I was like, okay, I really got to be more cognizant of that. But I guess it didn't register enough. So I got home and I gave my mom these storage bags to pack. So she keeps packing it's like a vertical bag, this way vertical. So then when you go to zip it, all the sides are empty and it's too thick in the middle. And then I have to move everything around. So I kept trying to show her, like, no, you got to pack it out this way. So I get there and it's like the worst one yet. It's totally the wrong way. And we had like a couple teaching moments on this. So I'm like, Mom, you did the same thing. She goes, no, I packed it vertically. And then I came in, I'm like, no. And I was showing her and she just burst into tears. And I felt like such a loser and horrible person. And I just like hugged her and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't mean for you to cry. And, you did so good packing. And I was just out, I gotta just be kinder and not, I'm a rush, do person. And I have to be cognizant that, not everybody's at that stage. And especially when people are grieving or not feeling well or elderly, that I can't hold them to that type of thing. Or even if their personality isn't that way. I have to be less me-centric and more cognizant of what's going on in other people's lives.
I'm sure she forgives you. I'm sure she'll forgive you. But yes, that is an important lesson. Don't make your mom cry.
Yeah.
Because it's just going to make you cry.
But, she wasn't mad at me. She was mad at herself that she wasn't understanding it, which made it even worse. Like, I just felt terrible.
Yes. It's true.
Yeah.
But that's how we are, right? Like we think about, and you talk about the go, go, go. Like I just recently realized that like I've tried to slow my life down because I'm like, okay, you need to slow down. Like you just, have a peaceful, calm environment, whatever. And I can feel my nervous system going like, wait a second, you're going too slow. Like what's going on? But for my own health and for my family's health, I need to slow down. Like I learned it on vacation that they can just enjoy sitting around playing cards under the sun, like on the grass, where I'm like, let's go here, let's go here. I'm like, okay, you need to do it. But my own nervous system like has a reaction, which yours probably does too. Yeah. Like when you slow down, it's such a foreign feeling, but we need to because like you said, we need to think of other people. Yeah. So, I mean, one of the big mistakes that I made when I was younger is not realizing that time flies by so quickly. Like I wasted a lot of time when I was younger, and my phone, I've recognized wastes a lot of time. And so I think it's a huge mistake we probably all make, that we waste time. And when older people say to you, it goes by like that, like it does go by like that. Yeah. Like I'm approaching 50 in the next couple of years and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like that's half my life. Like what did I waste time doing that really even a year later or 5 years later or 10 years later doesn't matter? Yeah. The fights, like the stupid fights. Yeah. Like I think to myself, like, what were you fighting about? We went to this. Oh, I really should. This is so embarrassing. Like, tell it. We went to this place that serves hamburgers when I was up north. And like, I'm a financially conscious person. And I don't know what was going on with me. But we're bringing all the kids there. And the kids were excited to go to this place. And we go to get the hamburgers. Well, apparently they charge like extra for the French fries and extra for like, it's not like you get like a meal. So this whole thing between my husband and the 4 kids, the 6 of us, was going to cost like almost $100 or something. And like, I was just so aggravated about the fact that it was going to cost so much. The kids were actually excited to eat there because this was a place. It may be something like 2 guys, except maybe 3 more or something like that. I don't know what the name. I don't know what the name of the place is.
That's so catchy.
It's irrelevant.
They need the logo.
It's irrelevant. But what I did and what I've done is that I get so upset about something that I ruin everybody else's time. Yeah. So like we were going to stay there and eat anyway. I was going to pay the exorbitant amount for the lousy food. And instead of just letting my kids enjoy it with my husband, whatever, I like lost my mind. And in fact, like I started to walk home, which was about like a 10-mile walk. And my husband had to like pick me up on the side of a main road and be like, honey, can you please just get in the car? It's not that big of a deal.
Oh my God.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is such a big mistake.
Yeah.
It's a huge mistake. Like I said, it's from anger, right? You get upset and then you ruin everybody else's time. Yeah. So a lot of the things I thought about, I did that. Like I did that, and I can come up with 20 more embarrassing examples of where I was in a bad mood or I was angry and I ruined everybody else's time. And the end result is the same. I still paid for the food. We still got the food. Like the only difference is instead of it being an enjoyable experience, it wasn't. Yeah. It is now a laughable moment for my entire family, But so I guess there's some good there's some positive in it. And now it's a laughable moment for all of you. And all you women out there are like, that's perfectly justified. We have those moments and those aren't mistakes. Those are legitimate. I applaud you.
Yeah. But it was funny as you were talking. I'm like, there's so many like mistakes that like it triggered in my mind.
PTSD.
You know? But like the one quick one, you know, based on what you said with time and all that is, I think this is a huge mistake. A lot of times we'll have a goal, and whether it's like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Like even I had a goal, you know, I want to move to Florida, whatever, and you gotta, at some point, there's no perfect time for anything. And I think so many people wait for that perfect time. Like, oh, I want to have a baby or I want to get, there is no perfect time. Your stars will never align and be like, oh, here's your child. Like it doesn't happen, you know? So you just got to do it, because a year from now, you'll be that much closer to your goal and your perfect moment wouldn't have arrived. And that's what life is. It's a whole bunch of series of imperfect moments that just perfectly make your life. I mean, that's what it is. So to me, that was a big lesson learned. Like, you know,
being afraid.
Yeah.
Being afraid.
Or not even like, for me, it's not so much, I wish, like my mom probably wishes I was afraid or had some sort of humility, but I don't. Mine is more... I just wasn't born with that gene, and she's like, damn it, you know. But mine is more trying to be the perfectionist, you know, like, oh, it'd be so awesome if this happened and then that, and it would be more, you know, whatever, even like on a financial level, like, oh, it'd be so much easier and financially better if I sold my house before moving to Florida. Instead, it was like this big, like $40,000 a year nut I had to pay for a house I'm not living in, which made no sense. So, but it happened, you know, in the end, the house sold, I moved down here. So again, if I was just waiting for the perfect moment, I'd probably still be back up north.
No,
so.
I mean, some of my mistakes, and I guess they're more like regrets, is I just recently read the Bible in its entirety. I wish I had done that so much sooner. I wish I had the relationship that I had with God so much sooner, where I asked him for help on things, you know, and I wasn't so afraid and didn't do certain things because like I did, like you said, there isn't a perfect time. There's no perfect time to do anything. And you just have to like plunge in. And I don't want my tombstone to be like born, waited, died. Like, I don't want that to happen.
Eulogy.
That flat line, mine's going to be like this from in between my born and my die.
Yeah.
I'm going to be raptured. I'm not going to die. It's fine. But no, like I do think about like fear. I thought like fear has stopped me from doing certain things that I wish I had done. Like when I went to college, I was working full time and I was afraid to go study abroad because I had a boyfriend at the time that, like, you know, I don't know where he is and nor do I care. And my opportunity passed me by, and I'm not going to ever have that opportunity again to go do that. But I was afraid, like, oh, well, you might not have a job when you get back, and you might not have a boyfriend when you get back. But I wish I had gone to study for those 6 months in Italy. Like, some opportunities you can't get back if you don't take the plunge. Like, yeah. And so that's a mistake. Like, I felt like I wanted to, and I researched it. If you go through the effort, like if you have the thought you want to and you research it, you should. Like, you shouldn't let things hold you back.
Yeah.
The fear or like of loss or whatever. If let's say now as an adult, I think to myself, okay, well, if I went to study abroad and he didn't make it, then he wasn't meant to make it anyway. And he didn't make it. Yeah. Right. So he ended up marrying my ex-best friend. That's another topic for another day. But that's the thing, is like sometimes like there's no good time to do something, but then the opportunity also won't exist later. Yeah.
Yeah. Like even like a lot of times, I believe this even happens when you get an urge to make an invention or do a certain something, you know, God might put that on your heart, but if you don't act on it, it's going to go to someone else and then it's going to pass you by.
We're so easy at talking ourselves out of it, right? Like that we can come up with all the reasons why we shouldn't. It's crazy. Yeah. So that's a mistake. Then like other mistakes I thought about, like, oh, I wish I had bought assets instead of stuff. how much stuff did I buy when I was younger that's like, I don't know. I don't know where my LA Gear sneakers are anymore. Like, I don't know where they are. They're gone, along with my Champion sweatshirt, but those actually came back. LA Gear might come back too. I don't know. But like when I was younger, and I'm teaching my kids now, like moments and experiences and that kind of stuff lasts. It lasts in your brain. The stuff. My daughter, my 21-year-old daughter, just said to me, like, Mom, I don't even know what I want for Christmas this year, because after we came back from Europe, like, I just don't want stuff anymore, like, to clutter up my life. Like, I want to go places. I want to do things. And so I wish when I was younger, like, I didn't make the mistake of thinking, like, I have to work and I have to, just, I didn't do as much traveling. I bought stuff that's useless or meaningless. And so I wasted a lot of time and made a lot of mistakes not going and doing those things that I wish I had done.
Yeah. I think one of a lesson for me too was kind of following your gut. There's been so many times where, you have this inkling like, oh, this person's bad, or I shouldn't do this. And there's no rational reason behind that. And you almost talk yourself out of it. Like, oh, you're just being crazy, or, and your gut is only correct 100% of the time. I mean,
I know.
It never really is wrong. And sometimes when I get led to do like the craziest things, you see why at the end, like there is that light at the end of the tunnel. But if you're too busy staring at the tunnel, you're never going to get to the light. So,
and if the intuition's like, I probably shouldn't do this, you probably shouldn't do it. Right. Yeah. So I don't regret being married. I'm on my second marriage, and my final one until death do us part this time. But I do remember
he did buy a gun. No. I'm kidding.
Life insurance too. But I remember sitting outside of the church for the first marriage and thinking I shouldn't do this.
Wow.
But I was like, everybody's inside. Everybody's expecting me to go through with this. Like, and I remember thinking I shouldn't do this. And I'm so, I'm overjoyed that I had 3 beautiful children or whatever, but it wasn't the right marriage for me. So last Thursday, my son had a class for Wing Chun, and so we were going to drive at night out to our river house. Is about 2.5 hours away. And the whole day I was thinking, I don't really feel like I should be driving at night. Like, I don't know. I just have this anxiety about driving. And even when we left, I was like, oh, I don't know. And he was like, let's just stay home. And I'm like, no, your dad's already out there. Like, let's go. And I thought maybe we should stay home and drive in the morning. Like, I just had this anxiety.
Yeah.
And about an hour and a half into the ride, a deer decided to run into the side of my car.
Oh.
Yes, and I wasn't in my truck, which would have blown up the deer. I was in my car. Thankfully, God protected me because it didn't come up on the windshield and through the windshield or anything like that. And my son and I are fine and safe, and the car can be repaired. But the weird thing is that you would think after I still had another hour and 15-minute drive. You would think after I would be so much more anxiety. My anxiety was gone.
Because that was it.
Because that was it. That's what I was anxious about. And I think the problem for me is that, like, sometimes, how do you recognize that those feelings are like, listen, versus just anxiety?
Yeah.
But there are plenty of times in my life where I had that kind of intuition and I just didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
And so God does protect me in the end. Like, it wasn't a catastrophic event, except for that insurance deductible. But anyway, so I can think of all the mistakes I made because I didn't follow my intuition.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with my life now, so I'm perfectly fine with all the mistakes. And sometimes, you have to make mistakes to learn lessons. But I think having that relationship with God and quieting your mind so that you can listen to your intuition and follow it, that would have been huge if somebody would have told me that like 30 years ago.
Yeah. I think another one that came to mind when you were talking about your food thing with the argument is
the 2 guys plus 3.
But it was one of those where it's so easy when you're going back and forth or you're in these close relationships and somebody does something that you're just dumbfounded, like, why in the world would you have done that? And back and forth. And it took me quite a few years till I finally realized it was just nobody's really like if they love you, they're not trying to hurt you. You know, like most arguments are literally it's just a miscommunication or a misunderstanding. So rather than just
Or
sit
men are
there,
from Mars and women are from Venus, right?
but it's so easy to be like, how could you, not even do that? Just go, what went through? Just if you get to the underlying, reason behind it, a lot of times it's actually something very loving and not this horrible thing where you think somebody's, going out to get you and all this stuff. So, I think it's
miscommunication.
a lot of that is just so much miscommunication going on.
Do you want to be a fly on the wall if I say to my husband, like, what exactly were you thinking when you did that? I can't say those words.
I'd be like, pull up a chair and get, popcorn or whatever.
Because there's implied words in that sentence, right? Like, I used to watch Everybody Loves Raymond, and she used to call it Raymond, like, idiot. Like, there would be implied words in there that I wouldn't be speaking. Like, what was going through your mind, you idiot, when you thought about doing that and saying those words? Are you stupid? Like, those other words, they wouldn't be said, but they would be in there. But you're right. A lot of times the people that we love aren't intentionally trying to hurt us, and we're not trying to hurt them. We're just, it's anger, right? Anger, frustration, like all kinds of stuff causes these problems.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times, like what you have in your head, like, oh, I'll do, like, I remember I had, what do you call it? My car registration came in, and in Connecticut, you put in the windshield, So the guy I was dating they were like up on his windshield, which I thought it was so stupid because
the inspection service.
Yeah. So to me, I'd keep it down low, So anyway, mine came in, and he took it upon himself to just
put it above the other one.
Like, I would have just, again. So I said.
That was his mistake.
It was, but I said, and then as a designer, like, you don't want to be looking at some crooked, like, it was so wrong on so many levels. So I was nice about it, but I said, do me a favor in the future.
You idiot.
Actually, my thing that he taught me, I say, is silly boy. I go, don't be
bless your heart.
Don't be a silly boy and just slap it up. But I said, in the future, don't do that. And, especially when it comes to something visual or something like that I'm living with, just, So he's like, okay. And I'm looking at him and I go, I know what you're thinking. Do not take this sticker off and try to reposition it, because that would anger me more to have this like sticker at the bottom than at least a smooth, crooked one in the wrong spot. Oh. And he's like, I won't do that. I go, you got to swear to me you will not do this. I promise, I promise, I promise. Well, what did this silly boy do? He did again. It was a loving gesture, but I was like, are you kidding? Like, did I not specifically say this would anger me more? And you chose that response, He's like, but I thought if I did it really carefully, you would.
You should have went back to the inspection station and paid the other $50 to do it all over.
Oh my God. But the nice thing at the end of this was,
there's a silver lining.
He left the house after many days, was like very apologetic and whatever, and wrote me a song with my name in it, because I said there's not enough songs that say Antoinette. So now I have my own song.
And after this show, I'm going to hear that song. And you're not going to, but maybe someday we'll do outtakes and you will get to hear the song.
Some of the songs are a little personal.
Well, maybe you'll never hear this song. Well, we got to wrap things up, but I have one more thing I was thinking about that I have done consistently, and I've recently stopped. But I ask people's opinion, and it's because I'm unsure myself, like what I want, this or that. And I ask their opinion, but I really do know what I want. And then their opinion says this, and then I end up buying that, and then I end up regretting it. So, for example, right now I have an L-shaped couch in my living room. I like to move things around. I don't know if any of you have an L-shaped couch. You don't move an L-shaped couch around. It sits there and it sits there, and that's the position that thing stays in. It's the laziest couch ever. It doesn't move anywhere.
That's what L's for. Lazy.
Lazy. That my couch is lazy. Yeah, that's right. And so when we were furniture shopping, my husband, who doesn't actually even care about the couch really, and my son, they were like, "Oh no, let's get an L-shaped couch," and I did. But I care more about the couch because I like to rearrange, and so I've done that consistently through my life. I've said like, what do you guys think? When really I should have just gotten what I wanted because it didn't matter as much to them. And then I would have been happy. And so I think, I don't know if any of you do that, but that's a mistake. Don't keep doing that because then you can't really be mad at the people in your life that picked the L-shaped couch. It's your own fault. You have to take responsibility for the fact that you didn't get what you wanted and you didn't have the confidence enough to buy 2 or 3 different couches and a chair that you could move around. Now, every guy that's watching this episode is like, women are crazy. Like between the hamburger episode and the car sticker and now the couch, like we just lost all our male viewers. They're like, or maybe they're going to watch every week now because they're like, now we need to know what's going on with these women.
Yeah, one day I'll play my song and you'll find out all these interesting tidbits about me.
All right. Well, next time it's going to be internet talking because we're going to be talking about design basics.
Yay.
And I guess maybe I could do the like what not to do because like I'm an accountant. There's no design.
Don't buy an L-shaped couch if it's going to upset you later.
Probably on the list, right? Of don't design your living room with an L-shaped
I can honestly say my couches are probably shaped unlike any couch you've ever seen in your life. You'll see.
I can't wait. So we're going to talk about design basics next time. So please tune in and join us. And until then, never stop learning.
And never stop laughing. See you then.